Tugaishe baadaye. Kan di kamera. Station before. I need to say it. Yeah, but I do.
Minister, the Chairperson of National Council, U.S. German Macaron, Responsible for Ministry of Transport and Public Works, QSS Kinjuzu, the Chief Executive Officer of National Construction Industry Council, Engineer Gattuso Kondi, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NCIC and welcome to the launch of the research agenda for the construction industry. Before we start, may I request Mr. Shigirokanda to offer an opening prayer.
Let us pray. Father, Lord, thank you this morning. Thank you for preserving our lives in such a time when the world has been facing this pandemic. Lord, you have preserved our lives for a purpose. Perhaps one of them is to develop this country. And Lord, we pray as the research agenda is being launched, pray that this research agenda shall be fulfilled. And we pray, Father God, that nations shall come to Malawi and learn how we came up with this research agenda. Not only developing the research agenda, but how successfully we have implemented it. Lord, we thank you for everyone in this house. Thank you for travel blessings. And Lord, we thank you because of our leaders who are here. Bless everyone in this place. We invite your presence to be with us in this place, because any business without your presence is not achievable. That's why Moses said, unless your presence goes with us, we will not go. That's why, Lord, we are praying that this meeting should be presided by you, and the entire journey of implementing the research agenda, you should be with us in this journey. Lord, we will say, I was there when we were doing this research, and the results that came out of the research agenda benefit Malawians because of the development in this country. Not only in this country, but regionally, as well as the world. Bless everyone in this place. In Jesus' name, we have prayed. Amen.
Thank you so much, Mr. Panda. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the human race has made tremendous progress through the pursuit of knowledge, using such initiatives such as the one being on today. The construction industry, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, is at the very heart of every human endeavor, and therefore it is of utmost importance that we are launching the research agenda today. So it is my singular honor and pleasure to welcome each one of us to this event. Honorable Minister, in our midst we have various stakeholders. We have representatives from ministries and departments. We have representatives from our status. We have representatives from financial institutions, the Reserve Bank, the National Bank, the Standard Bank. We have representatives from Lord's Fund Administration, from NERA, from Ejengo, from Agro Standards, professional boards, contractors and consultants. They are all in this house. At this juncture, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the CEO of National Construction Industry Council, Engineer Kondi, to address us.
The Minister of Transport and Public Works, Honorable Jacob Hala, MP, the Secretary for Transport and Public Works, Chris Hastings Chiuzu, the Chairperson of the National Construction Industry Council board, Chris Jeremiah Makaba, and all board members present, directors from different institutions, representatives of professional boards and MDAs, stakeholders in the construction industry, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am humbled today as I make these introductory remarks on the official launch of the construction industry research agenda. Honorable Minister, the critical role the construction industry plays in the socio-economic development of any country cannot be disputed. The construction industry produces, maintains, and adapts the necessary economic infrastructure which other sectors depend on for their operation and development. The state of development of the country, therefore, depends on the state and quality of infrastructure, as well as the rate at which such infrastructure is delivered. Honorable Minister, the research agenda you are launching today is a tool that has been developed to guide the industry in exploring not only best utilization of available resources, but also to document best practices and enumerate creative and innovative ways of ensuring the construction industry is delivering quality infrastructure that responds and satisfies the demands of the industry and create value for money. The research agenda for the construction industry is coming against a background of growing concerns over the over-reliance on imported materials, the unsustainable use of the natural resources with adverse consequences on the livelihoods of the present and future generations, as well as underperformance of the construction industry. Honorable Minister, I would want to assure you that the construction industry in Malawi has the potential to deliver excellent results. I am saying this because I know that Malawians have designed and have overseen construction of quality infrastructure in other countries like South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Angola, including the United Kingdom, as well as other countries. Honorable Minister, you might wish to note that the expansion of the Heathrow Airport in the United Kingdom was overseen by Malawi. Honorable Minister, this expertise can be utilized locally, and we can save a lot of hard-earned resources. This research agenda will help us identify such skills, as well as how such Malawians have been able to perform well elsewhere by identifying for ourselves where we went wrong as a country and fixing multifaceted collaboration, and that is why even the development of the research agenda was conducted in a participatory manner in collaboration with various stakeholders, through which challenges and gaps were identified that informed the major themes of the research agenda. Honorable Minister, prioritized research themes include in areas of construction materials, technology and innovation in construction, manpower and organizational development, construction economics and cost control, management methodologies, estimating and tendering, governance, legal and institutional framework, green technology and sustainability, transportation systems, health and safety in the construction industry. Honorable Minister, you may be pleased to note that we have already incorporated in the just approved budget some initiatives that will contribute to solving some of the challenges that the construction industry is facing. Such initiatives include the development of construction cost indices, introduction of infrastructure projects quality technical audits, development of procurement models to enhance local participation and capacity development for malaria fields, enhancement of the regulatory framework through development of enabling regulations, some of which will come to our desk, Honorable Minister, for signing within this year. And of course, the review of the NCIC Act to enhance its mandate, just to mention a few. Honorable Minister, as we develop and implement these initiatives, I see a transformed construction industry. I see a transformed and developed Malawi. Finally, Honorable Minister, let me thank the NCIC board for the oversight, guidance, and support they have provided us and continue to provide us in the execution of our responsibilities and mandate. Thank you. Let me also thank my team, management and staff of NCIC. Honorable Minister, this is a contingent of dedicated team that is ready to deliver results as NCIC takes its rightful position as a regulator and leader in the construction industry. Finally, Honorable Minister, let me thank you for your dedication and commitment to transforming the infrastructure delivery systems in Malawi. Your advice and support will go a long way in accelerating this transformation. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention, and may God bless you.
the Principal Secretary for Transport, USS Mr. the Chief Executive Officer for National Construction Industry Council, Engineer Gerard Conje, various stakeholders being present, representatives of government departments and agencies, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'll take you through a very, very short presentation because I understand we all have the copy of the research agenda, or maybe a small version of the research agenda, the booklet that we have. So I will just run through a presentation. Basically, I would like to emphasize the objectives of the research agenda and also the key priority areas, the thematic areas that were marked and are presented in the research agenda, as well as a brief on the implementation strategy of the research agenda and the funding mechanisms that we have proposed to ensure that the research agenda is implemented. So we keep repeating our mandate because we understand that as our stakeholders, we also need to understand our mandate as a council. NCIC was created by laws of Malawi, Chapter 5305, with the aim of regulating, promoting, and developing the construction industry in Malawi. Our vision is a sustainable and internationally competitive construction industry. So we would like to take the construction industry in Malawi to a level whereby we say it is internationally competitive. NCIC has a number of departments, and one of the departments is the Department of Research, of which has mastered from. And the objective of the research agenda. So we have sort of creating or developing the research agenda to ensure that the activities, research activities in the industry are directed as well as well coordinated. Both the actual research, doing the research, as well as uptake and implementation of research results. So we thought that there's a gap between those who are doing research and those who are supposed to use or implement the results that come from the good research that we are doing. So this research agenda comes in to bridge that gap between those who do research and those who implement the research results. And also, as you might be aware that NCIC was created, National Commission for Science and Technology was created to facilitate technology issues of science. So we want to also use this research agenda to guide us, stimulate the relationship between the construction industry and NCIC in terms of research. So, as the CEO mentioned, there was a consultative kind of methodology which was used to come up with this research agenda, or particularly the thematic areas that we have outlined in the research agenda. So, key stakeholders were consulted, and there was also a validation workshop that was done to ensure that all the challenges in the industry are mapped so that the thematic areas are really informed and coming from the challenges that the industry is facing. The reason why we did research needs analysis, because prior to coming up with the thematic areas, we carried out research needs analysis so that we know the challenges and we map the challenges that the industry is facing, so that the thematic areas should really be responding to the challenges that the industry is facing, so that the research that we do as we be implementing this research agenda should be answering and providing solutions. So it's not just a matter of coming out with the thematic areas or just doing research which just ends up if the libraries are stolen. So from the challenges that were identified, we came up with 9 thematic areas, of which we want to implement as our focus areas. There are 9 thematic areas that were identified. As you can see, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, these thematic areas were ranked. So from the challenges that were identified, we ranked the thematic areas from the highest to the lowest. So number 1 means that we are supposed to right away start researching on that thematic area. So what came out as a challenge really that the industry is facing is the issue of construction materials. So as much as we have quality materials, but there's also noted that there's an influx of substandard materials in the industry. So that came out as number 1, and we feel that that can be ranked as number 1 because if we have substandard materials, obviously we will not fail to have quality infrastructure. So that comes number 1 as our thematic area. Honorable Minister, I would like to mention as well that as a council, we have gone forward to implement a research project in this category, in this thematic area of construction materials. We are carrying out an assessment of quality and compliance to quality and standards of our locally manufactured concrete blocks. So, apart from having this as a research agenda, we have already taken a step ahead in terms of implementation of this agenda. And a good example is that research project that we are carrying out with Malawi Block Standards and National Commission for Science and Technology. And also the issue of technology and innovation in construction. So there are new technologies on the market, but maybe most of them have not yet started being used in Malawi. So we feel that there's a need for us to research more on technologies in construction. So as we've seen that our vision is an internationally competitive construction industry, we cannot lag behind in terms of uptake of technology in construction. So we are calling researchers to research more on technology in construction. And also there's a need to research more in terms of management methodologies and estimating and tailoring. So there's lack of harmonized fee structure among these consultants. So that is bringing in challenges, and we want that we research more in terms of that. And also there were issues of corruption and good governance, which were mentioned as challenges when we were collecting data. So we thought that good governance, legal and institutional frameworks is also an issue that we need to dig deep and do more research on that, so that we are informed in terms of regulation of the industry, the connection between the traders and the industry. There are several traders in the industry, but what is the link or what that is there between these regulatory bodies for the construction industry? And also, there was an issue of construction economics and cost control, which I think obviously we need to focus on. There's been issues of laws, evaluated visa, and other issues that affect construction in terms of procurement and economics. And also, as the world is moving towards sustainability and environmental management, it is also necessary, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, that we do more research on sustainability. The materials that we are using in construction, how are they affecting the environment? How can we make sure that we minimize the impact of construction on the environment in general? And also the issue of manpower and organization development also came out, and it was ranked number 7. And also the issue of transportation systems. As an evolving country, we cannot run away from having good transportation systems to enhance the development of this country. So there is also a need for more research in that area. And also issues of health and safety, we also need to that. Just to mention that these thematic areas, as you can see, that they are very broad thematic areas. So researchers will be free or are free to narrow down from these broad research areas. So picking one of the thematic areas, there can be several research topics that can come from that one thematic areas. So there will be multiple research projects that can come from these thematic areas. As a council, we do not want to have one of those documents that just lie and gather dust in our offices. We want to ensure that this research agenda is implemented. It shouldn't just be one beautiful document, but we should translate this research agenda into practical research, because the gap is institutions of higher learning that academics are doing research, but it's not jumping over to the industry. So we have put in place implementation strategies to ensure that we implement this research agenda. Just to mention, it has been given a lifespan of 5 years. We want to make sure that at least within the 5 years we implement the agenda that we have come up with. As an implementation strategy, we want to register research, construction-related research with the Council for onward forwarding NCIC to ensure that there's harmonized research activities. So there are people who are currently doing research in construction, but it's not harmonized. We haven't brought in together these research projects being done from various places around the country. So we want to register. If we register the research projects, we'll be able to know that this is the research that we have done, and then harmonize everything that we have, and we will avoid duplication. And also, we're going to develop an inventory of research activities. So if we can we'll come up with a research bank, so that we gather and collect all the research results, so that we can see which one we can pick in accordance to the research agenda, so that we can implement it. And also, other institutions will be incorporated into the identified priority areas. We want to call upon all research and development institutions to work with us, so that we can use this research agenda, so that we are on the same footing in terms of researching for quality infrastructure. And also, we want to work on calling upon those agencies that can fund research, so that we ensure that this is really implemented. We cannot implement the agenda without funding that we may need. And also, we have put in place proposed financing mechanisms. The council will come in to fund some of the proposed research projects, and also we look forward to get some research grants schemes to help us fund the research projects that we have proposed. And also we have to explore PPP, public-private partnership, in terms of implementation and funding of the research agenda. Honorable Minister, Board Chair, the CEO, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. That's the end of my presentation. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Madam Training and Research Director. Honorable Minister, all protocols observed. At this juncture, we would like to invite Lieutenant Mbabo to select the issue.
Wasika pamene koma mifusa ile kunachokera kuti.
Chifukwa ndikudziwa. Ndiyatha kudaba kunangawo atira. Chifukwa ndosinazo mama.
Oyi maniwala. Ndikufusa maniwala lero.
Koma udindo wanu mulesitukuziwa.
Koma kulili nomuchunge kukhala kutractor wakukula ndani. Muziwike kulili nomakwira hizo umabambika zoma nchonja panjana. Mesaka za kumola njia waiti. Nutusi. Leo masekabo akutiwa NCIC akutiwa. Leo kama nifuse ndani. Mtezo wanamda wakiamisama tukila njia zaidi. Unatupesa kama vile.
Ndio masika mabele.
Usoma kama baba.
Alipende. Kuna kwa mwini.
Wako bwana.
Mkaza mimi ni mwanzo wa swali.
Sika kuna kwa kuja. Ali
Sina kila ni alipesi.
Alipesi dada baba.
Pana pesa na pesa usiku alimumonozi.
Wote. Sika kuna kuja para somo wewe.
Tuweza ni mwanzo wa start yanga kama ni mtesi mmoja.
Anafanya kama kwa kitu kama hiyo. Mugana kile mwofesi yangu.
Ile
jabu ndo Wachomba nisa waka majina kuyo mazamu ilo weso mabera.
Bali.
Mabera asidi. Mabera asidi. Akaza wapu ya leo kino imoji. Niko mali bijerosi.
sisi zile
Kwa masoa. Inenda kwa njia wasaka faishi chakula. Ine kuyangani ya kama nikula na kutraki za hapo ila asidi.